All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. Guys, let's check it out.
We are following some breaking news out of Iran after Iran threatens President Trump. Take a look at this social media post right now, sharing more details of this threat. This is from the New York Post saying Iran issues a sickening assassination threat against Trump. Quote, this time it will not miss the target. And they also shared a photo of one of the assassination attempts against President Trump. All of this coming as protests continue to escalate in Iran. These are some file video of some of these protests in which reportedly hundreds, if not thousands of people have been killed. Meantime, Iran's judiciary head has signaled earlier today there would be fast trials and executions ahead for suspects detained in these nationwide protests, despite warnings from President Trump that the U.S. may take military action over the killing of peaceful demonstrators.
And guys, and that's like all we're encountering. That's the reason why they're doing this here. They're like, hey, listen, how dare you act as if you can protect the citizens of my country that I'm trying to basically publicly annihilate on a consistent basis. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting here, right? Like, understand this here. I'm thinking from the perspective of the Ayatollah, at least, or the other leadership, at least, right? Hey, I shut the internet off so you guys couldn't see these things, and somehow this stuff is still kind of getting out. Oh no, right? So now let me go ahead and attempt to end the life of the person who's trying to do something at the very least, while others are kind of doing nothing in the region. Unfortunately, they need to do a lot more themselves, right? But that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here, guys. That's it. It's like, oh, I want to end your existence because you're attempting to offer some type of assistance to the people that I'm trying to, rule over. That's the vibe.
Those comments came as activists warn that hangings of those detained could come soon. The security force crackdown on the demonstrations has killed at least 2,500 people. That's according to the U.S.-based human rights activist news agency. The death toll exceeds that of any other round of protest or unrest in Iran in decades and recalls the chaos surrounding the country's 1979 Islamic Revolution. These demonstrations began on December 28th over the collapse of an Iranian currency as the country's economy is being squeezed by international sanctions levied in part over its nuclear program. This also comes as President Trump has consulted with his national security team about next steps with Iran as he looks to get a better understanding of the specific number of Iranian citizens who have been killed and arrested in more than 2 weeks of unrest throughout the country. So this is some video of just some of those protests that have continued to grow in Iran. President Trump said that he believes the killing is significant and that his administration would, quote, act accordingly. He also added that he believed the Iranian government was, quote, badly misbehaving. But the president said that he has yet to receive a confirmed number of Iranians killed in these protests that began late last month, saying that he has heard 5 different sets of numbers in that death toll.
Yeah, guys. I mean, how are you going to get a like legitimate number that is like true to the minute? I'm not really sure that's going to be a thing. Pretty much based off of the amount of people who have lost their existence kind of during this year. Like when you're in this scenario, I mean, I get it. There's just nothing you can really do here, but I guess do this specific thing here, right? This style of protest, right? But when the government is like such an overwhelming force and they're going to immediately attempt to end your existence for any type of like literal protest, maybe it's like the smartest thing in the world to try to escape this scenario, meaning it's just time to go somewhere else. I mean, this is what happens at the end of the end of a society. I mean, that's just kind of the vibe I'm getting here. This is the end. It looks like the end. How can we come back and kind of fix this under the same like legitimate leadership or ruler, guys? How is this going to be a thing here? And bro, yeah, I'm aware that initially the Ayatollah did not specifically want to take over the place. He was basically kind of pressured into it. I get that, right? But the point is that he's still there. I get it. He's definitely a puppet for the over the organization that is over him specifically, right? But guys, he's still kind of putting his name on it, so he has to be treated as if he is the one who is like specifically doing these things, guys. You know.
So the tensions continue to escalate, and these
My opinion,
comments come
obviously.
after President Trump earlier said that he was cutting off the prospects of talks with Iranian officials amid a protest crackdown, telling Iranian citizens, quote, help is on the way. Now, he didn't offer any details about exactly what this help would entail, but his remarks come just 2 days after he said Iran wants to negotiate with Washington after his threat to strike the Islamic Republic. And now the rhetoric continues to ramp up after Iran issues an assassination threat against President Trump, saying, quote, this time it will not miss the target. We, of course, are continuing to follow all of the breaking news stories, and also a programming note as you're taking a live look at the White House. Coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern time, so in just about half an hour or so, President Trump will be holding a signing ceremony at the White House. This is open to the media, and one has to imagine that many questions will be asked as Iran has ramped up that rhetoric with an assassination threat.
Guys, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Yeah, guys, this is not new though, right? I mean, there was already like a religious edict that was put out kind of regarding Trump in the first place. What, about a year ago, or slightly after, or maybe not even a year ago. Maybe it was a year ago, right? But when they basically bombed the nuclear site, right? They were already there's already a price on his head for the most part here. So this, by saying it again while not doing it before, really is starting to seem like you're not even a paper tiger. What's worse than that, bro? A paper kitty cat, guys? I mean, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. You're saying you have the ability to kind of reach people, at any time of the day, but yet you're not doing what you're saying you're doing because you know that Trump is basically untouchable as long as you have Secret Service, the fatwa, yeah. Secret Service protection. That's kind of the vibe here, right? You're just talking, and similar to when, after the event happened, you basically attempted to annihilate a base, but then you pre-warned the local government where the United States base was in their country that you were going to do this. So they then told the base, hey, listen, they're going to do something crazy. They're going to lob shots at you guys. So go ahead and leave, right? Because they knew better than to attempt to kind of bombard. I think it was in Qatar, right, when this happened, and they tried to basically bomb one of our sites, but they pre-warned us. All right, and then they went back and they told the citizens of their country, hey, look at what we did, right? We did this great, amazing thing. Yeah, but you told the people before, so nothing actually truthfully happened, right? I mean, it seems like the leadership is saying one thing at all times, but then doing the exact opposite. It's a little bit absurd here, guys, right? Consistently. Is it a threat you need to look into? Absolutely, right? Absolutely look into it because, it is what it is here, right? You have to. But is it more meaningful than the last one he put out? Guys, it's the same, bro. So let's see where that goes. Hopefully nothing happens. I highly doubt this is anything more than talk, similar to all of the other times, any of the information basically has leaked from that specific area. It's generally just all talk. So I definitely do not put much faith at all into that threat there. But you have to look into it, obviously. Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies, and I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry. Right? Listen, like and subscribe.